In the intricate world of modern warfare, communication is the lifeblood of any organization. But what happens when the very devices meant to keep an organization connected become weapons turned against them? On September 17th and 18th, 2024, Lebanon witnessed a series of devastating explosions that would shake the foundations of one of the most powerful non-state actors in the Middle East, Hezbollah. This event would not only claim lives, but also expose the vulnerabilities of even the most cautious organizations in our interconnected world. It's a typical Tuesday afternoon in Lebanon. The streets are bustling with activity, people going about their daily lives. Suddenly, at 3:30 p.m. local time, chaos erupts. Pagers, those seemingly innocuous devices, begin exploding simultaneously across the country. But why pagers in 2024, you might ask? To understand this, we need to delve into Hezbollah's unique approach to communication. In an age of smartphones and advanced technology, Hezbollah had made a calculated decision to rely on pagers. This choice was driven by several factors. Firstly, pagers leave a smaller electronic footprint, making them less vulnerable to tracking by Israeli intelligence. Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, had previously warned members against carrying cell phones, fearing that Israel could use them to track the group's movements. Additionally, pagers work in areas with poor mobile coverage and have longer battery life, lasting several days on a single charge. This made them ideal for Hezbollah's operational needs. The group had been using these pagers for about 5 months before the attacks, having acquired them around February 2024. This followed an order from Hassan Nasrallah to stop using cell phones due to Israeli intelligence interception risks. Little did they know that this decision, intended to enhance their security, would lead to one of their most significant vulnerabilities. The pager explosions on September 17th were just the beginning of a 2-day nightmare for Lebanon. Let's break down the toll of this first day of attacks. At least 12 people were killed, including 2 innocent children. The number of injured was staggering, with approximately 2,800 people suffering various degrees of harm. Many victims experienced severe injuries, particularly to their eyes, faces, and hands. The explosions occurred in densely populated areas, including the southern suburbs of Beirut, a known Hezbollah stronghold. Video footage showed shoppers and bystanders collapsing in panic when explosions occurred in grocery stores, on streets, and even during a funeral procession. Local hospitals were quickly overwhelmed, struggling to cope with the large number of injured. Some patients had to lie on the floor due to lack of space, highlighting the scale of the devastation. But the horror wasn't over. The very next day, a second wave of attacks struck, escalating the crisis to new heights. On September 18th, 2024, walkie-talkies became the new weapon in this invisible war. This second wave of explosions resulted in at least 20 more deaths, bringing the total fatalities to over 30 in just 2 days. Approximately 450 additional people were injured, pushing the total injury count to over 3,250. The attacks also caused significant property damage, with fires erupting in homes, shops, and vehicles across Lebanon. In a twist worthy of a spy thriller, it was revealed that Israeli intelligence had pulled off an audacious operation. But how did they manage to infiltrate Hezbollah's supposedly secure supply chain? The answer lies in a sophisticated and long-term operation that likely took months, if not years, to orchestrate. Israeli intelligence, likely Mossad, had successfully infiltrated the logistical chain through which Hezbollah acquires its equipment. They managed to compromise the production process of the pagers, adding an explosive component and remote triggering mechanism without raising suspicion. The pagers were reportedly produced under the label Gold Apollo, a Taiwan-based company. However, the actual manufacturing was done by BAC Consulting, a Budapest-based company with rights to produce under the Gold Apollo label. The operation involved placing approximately 20 grams of PETN, pentaerythritol tetranitrate, explosive near each pager's battery. This small amount was enough to cause significant damage when detonated, but remained undetected during normal use. A remote detonation mechanism was also embedded, allowing the explosives to be triggered from afar. The compromised pagers were part of a shipment of approximately 1,000 devices that Hezbollah had recently imported. This large-scale infiltration went undetected until the moment of detonation, highlighting the sophistication of the operation. But surely, Hezbollah's procurement processes should have caught this, right? Several factors contributed to this massive security breach. Hezbollah relied on external sources for their communication devices, creating an opportunity for infiltration. Their security protocols may not have included rigorous testing or inspection of new communication devices, possibly due to complacency or lack of awareness of this specific threat. Internal issues within Hezbollah also played a role. There appears to be a divide between Hezbollah's top leadership aligned with Iran's regional goals and the more Lebanon-focused local leadership. This lack of unified direction undermined operational coherence and security. The group's expansion during the Syrian civil war had led to significant losses, forcing them to lower recruitment standards. This allowed less ideologically screened and potentially less trustworthy individuals to join the ranks, making the organization more vulnerable to infiltration. As Lebanon reeled from the attacks, the international community responded swiftly. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called for maximum restraint from all concerned actors to prevent further escalation. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, called for an independent, thorough and transparent investigation into the incidents. Human Rights Watch echoed the UN's call for an investigation, stating it should be prompt and urgently conducted. Regional players also stepped in. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi reaffirmed Lebanon's security, stability, and sovereignty. Iran, a longtime ally of Hezbollah, condemned the attacks as Israeli terrorism and dispatched medical teams to Lebanon. The Lebanese government called for assistance from the United Nations and the United States to help restore peace, reflecting the severity of the situation and the fear of further escalation. In the wake of the attacks, Hezbollah faced an unprecedented communication crisis. Their once secure network had been turned against them, and they needed to act fast. The group began reassessing their communication methods, likely breaking their private network into smaller networks to limit damage if breached again. Hezbollah started exploring alternative communication methods. These included reverting to older, non-electronic methods like hand-delivered letters or verbal messages delivered by couriers. They also began considering increased use of their landline network, despite past Israeli attempts to tap into it. One of Hezbollah's most significant assets in this crisis was their independent fiber optic network. This Iranian-financed network, established around 2 decades ago, runs from Beirut to southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. It provides Hezbollah with a secure means of communication that is difficult for Israel to jam or intercept. The network uses Voice over Internet Protocol (VoIP) technology and operates independently of Lebanese government networks, giving Hezbollah greater control and security. In times of crisis, Hezbollah's media arm, Al-Manar, plays a crucial role in their communication strategy. Launched in 1991, Al-Manar has grown from a small local operation to a comprehensive satellite station with global reach. With an annual budget of around $15 million, it has become one of the Arab world's leading news organizations, second only to Al Jazeera in its impact on disseminating radicalism. Al-Manar calls itself the Station of Resistance and is a key tool in Hezbollah's psychological warfare against the Zionist enemy. During this crisis, it likely played a significant role in managing public perception and maintaining morale among Hezbollah's supporters. As the dust settles on this unprecedented attack, one thing is clear: the landscape of asymmetric warfare has been forever changed. The pager attacks of September 2024 demonstrate the vulnerabilities even the most cautious organizations face in our interconnected world. They highlight the ongoing cat-and-mouse game between state and non-state actors in the Middle East, where technological advancements can quickly turn from assets to liabilities. The September 2024 pager attacks serve as a stark reminder of the evolving nature of conflict in the 21st century. They exposed the vulnerabilities in Hezbollah's communication network, challenged their operational security, and demonstrated Israel's advanced intelligence capabilities. As technology continues to evolve, so do warfare methods. This event has undoubtedly reshaped the strategic landscape in the region, forcing all actors to reassess their security protocols and communication strategies.